Hello everyone, this is Jotto and welcome to the Hearthstone Weekly Show. Now, this is the last spoiler show because, as we have some news, which I will just scroll the way up, Blackrock Mountain is releasing on April the 2nd, which is a Thursday. Now, by the looks of it, this is going to be a Friday in every other region apart from North America, which looks like it is going to be Thursday evening for North America. So, in other words, unless they're doing the crazy, it's Thursday afternoon, therefore it's midnight. Yeah, they might do that, which is always annoying. But anyway, so basically we're getting it next week, which means I have several videos that I'm throwing out, including one I've already recorded, which is kind of weird. But, yeah, basically I did an arena run because I had something dumb, like 5 consecrations and 4 truce overs, and I thought, let's just go with it. So, yep, I had an arena run with that, and also with Malagos, so I thought, let's just throw up a video about it. So I recorded that yesterday, which was weird. So yeah, I recorded that yesterday, it's out of order, so I may have said some random stuff about videos that I may or may not be doing. So yeah, that's a thing. But anyway, so besides that, that's coming out tomorrow, most likely. Then we've got the set review, which will be out on Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how the live stream thing goes. For anyone who doesn't know, there is going to be a live stream, which is happening in 1 day exactly, almost, which is going to show all the cards. Now, that is going to be on, that's on Monday. Let's see, okay, so it's tomorrow it's tomorrow evening, so then on Tuesday we're going to do the set review, and on Wednesday I'm going to do some sort of predicting the meta deck tech, and I'm going to bring on a teammate for that. And then on Thursday, set release, I might do like some bosses or things like that. Actually, put that in the comments if you want to see me do boss runs. I'm not doing heroics because I really don't like doing heroics, but the actual boss runs themselves and the class challenges are quite fun, so I will happily record and do those. But in terms of the actual heroics, I'm not subjecting myself to that because I did not have fun with the heroics last time, so I'm not going to do them this time. But anyway, on to the actual spoilers. So, there were a grand total of 5 spoilers this week, which is similar to the amount from last week, I think. So, we'll start with them in chronological order. The first one is the Blackwing Corruptor. 5 mana, 5/4 common, relevant in Arena. Battle cry, if you're holding a dragon, deal 3 damage. Whoa, wait a second. Isn't that Fire Elemental for 1 less mana? That's Fire Elemental for 1 less mana. That's crazy. Fire Elemental is one of the single best 6-drops in the entire game, and has been since base set. So that effect is insane. Yeah, do not underestimate that effect. It is always better than it looks. Fire Elemental is ridiculous, and this costs less stats. It's basically +1/+1 for 1 mana, and that's not worth it. The actual reason why Fire Elemental is probably better than Corruptor is because you need a dragon in your hand. However, that's an insane effect, and this feels like the Blast Mage of the mech deck, where you have this thing that holds the glue together and will encourage you to play higher drop dragons because then you get Corruptor triggers, which are insane. So yeah, absolutely amazing Blackwing Corruptor. Something else is that this is actually better than Blast Mage in my opinion because you can direct it and it does not require you to have board advantage. Having it in your hand is usually easier than having it on the board, which means you can use it as a comeback mechanic on the board just like Fire Elemental. This card would be worse if it said if you control a dragon. So Blackwing Corruptor I think is absolutely amazing, and will be one of the reasons to run a dragon deck along with the Blackwing Technician, which we saw earlier in the spoiler season down here. Now, the other card I'm going to talk about briefly is the second of the mage cards. Now, before we go into this one, this is the only class which got 2 spoilers, the other one being Flamewaker, which I gave fairly positive feedback on. Now, this is Dragon Breath. 5 mana, deal 4 damage, it costs 1 less for each minion that died this turn. That's terrible. Absolutely horrible. It is a common. I wouldn't pick it, but it's a common. It's still miserable. Now, the reason I want to want to show just why this is so terrible, is because Fireball exists. Fireball is 4 mana, deals 6. Dragon's Breath, to be better than Fireball, needs to be 2 mana. Because 3 mana, deal 4 is not a good card. We've seen this with Shadow Ball. That and Mage has Flame Cannon and Frostbolt. Now, if you only get a 1 reduction, congratulations, you have now just played a worse Frostbolt ping, because it doesn't freeze it. And the Frostbolt can't be used on its own, same with the Hero Power. So, costing 1 less does not make this worth playing. Costing 2 less, I would not be that happy with, but okay, you get some value. Costing 3 less, congratulations, you just have a Flame Cannon that can target stuff. But the thing is, a bunch of stuff just died, so your Flame Cannon would probably just hit what you wanted it to. Anyway, that and Flame Cannon can deal 5 with your Hero Power for 4 mana, whereas this can't do that for 4 mana. Normally, I don't bring Flame Cannon into the equation when it comes to this stuff, although it does see some play alongside Frostbolt, not instead of. Normally, I don't bring Flame Cannon into this, but when you're talking about removing a bunch of stuff from your opponent's board and yours, Flame Cannon's going to hit what you want it to, let's be honest here. So then, how cheap does this have to be before it is good? The answer is 1 mana. Which means 4 things need to die. 4. That's a lot. Like, that's like a Flame Strike, basically. But then you Flame Strike, and then, congratulations, you have a free 4 damage to his face, or kill the last guy. But is that worth it to play a 5 mana, deal 4 damage burn spell in your deck? I don't think so. I think this is really, really bad. And this is the bad mage card. This is the good mage card, just like we got Axe Flinger, which in my opinion is the bad warrior card, and we're waiting to see the good one. So yeah, Dragon Breath I think is pretty miserable. One of the worst cards that has been spoiled, well, besides Dragon Egg. So anyway, on to the other 3. Now, the stuff we got 3 days ago, I was waiting until the end of the week to do this because we may have got 1 or 2 extra spoilers, but the stuff we got 3 days ago is basically the Dragon spoiler, including the second legendary out of what is presumably 5, although Naxxramas kind of duped us with 6, which was weird. So yeah, Nefarian, 9 mana, 8/8 Battlecry, so big dragon basically. 9 mana, 8/8 dragon, legendary Battlecry, add 2 random spells to your hand from your opponent's class. Not deck, class. Which makes it worse because spells they're not playing are worse. So that's a thing. Now, I'm guessing the reason it says this is so it's not dead at any point, but it makes it worse overall. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So, the problem with Nefarian, and I'm kind of sad about this because I like 9 mana 8/8 dragons, but there's a couple. First of all, if you want something at the top of the curve, Alexstrasza will do you a lot better. You've also got Ysera, even Onyxia, things like that. These just do more board impacting plays. This is a control card. With one exception, which is Big Game Hunter. Now, this is something which is really irritating me because it's become more and more evident with the advent of Boom that having 7 or more attack is such a large drawback that it actually pushes most cards into oblivion. Big Game Hunter has a absurdly bad impact on the game right now because it has, like, a lot of people don't think about this, but Trogzor doesn't see play because Boom eats it. Boom sees a lot of play because Big Game Hunter doesn't instantly kill it. Just think about that. That is the reason Boom is so good. Now, Nefarian, sure, he draws you 2 cards, but he still dies. Oh, is it he or she? I think it's a he. Yeah. Still dies to, what, an ability on a 4 mana, on a 3 mana 4/2? And for the record, that effect should be on a 4-drop, at least. But yeah, basically you're getting nothing when it gets Big Game Huntered, and that's really miserable. You get 2 spells that are probably not going to be good, and if you're playing it in Priest, you may not even be able to use them. Like Deadly Poison, things like that, you just can't use them. So you kind of have to hope you're playing Rogue, or just some sort of weapon class that you can use all the spells you can possibly get in, and even then it's just not good. So I don't think Nefarian will see any play. I think it's pretty bad. Well-designed card, but not good enough. Drakonid Crusher, 6 mana 6/6 common dragon. Common 6 mana 6/6 dragon. Okay. I think the dragons in Arena are going to be a thing, because there's also another 6 mana common dragon next to it. And Hungry Dragon's common. Battle Cry. If your opponent has 15 or less health, noticing the Alexstrasza implications there, gain +3/+3. Again, why does this say +3/+3? Make it +0/+3. So basically, if that said gain 3 life, then the Drakonid Crusher would be good to too good, almost. But the problem with Drakonid Crusher is it has a drawback. Again, thank you, Big Game Hunter. This is starting to get annoying. So basically, you can't play the Crusher when he has less than 15 health because he'll get Big Game Huntered and you just got tempoed to death. Okay. And by the looks of it, if you're playing this on turn 6 or 7, then he hasn't had a Big Game Hunter target, so the only thing this can really do is lead up to your Dr. Boom. If that's your aim, then that's fine, but if you're just trying to play him as a beat stick, he's not going to do you any justice. However, absolute bomb in Arena, in my opinion. 9/9 is absolutely insanely large. One thing I will say, though, about the Drakonid Crusher is he could see play in a slower mid-rangey dragon deck, and the reason is because he is a 6 mana 6/6 with a tribal synergy. Now, 6 mana 6/6s literally eat everything in Constructed. Look at it. It's like Boom is the largest thing by far, and then there's random Ragnaroses every so often. But besides that, everything's a 5/5 or a 6/5 at largest with Savannah Highmane and Fire Elemental. So 6/6 is actually the largest body you can keep on the board through Big Game Hunter. The problem is it can also be a 9/9 which doesn't survive BGH, so that's a problem. Now, the last card we've got here is Volcanic Drake. Definitely the most exciting card out of these three. 6 mana 6/4 dragon. So I'm guessing this is supposed to be like the piloted Sky Golem of the dragons, as opposed to the mechs. It's a common, and it has the Dragon Breath ability. Costs 1 less for each minion that has died this turn. That effect is way stronger on a minion than it is on a spell. Now the reason for this is because a 6 mana 6/4 is below standard, but you have a dragon subtype, so it's not that far below, but it's still below. Now, if you kill something, this costs 5. If you trade your 2/3 drops, you play this on turn 4. That's a thing. Not to mention, you can also play things like Hungry Dragon, so he gets more stuff on his board, and then just curve out and just take it out, play Volcanic Drake on the next turn, because your Hungry Dragon can just kill the token he gets out of it. So this will usually be played for 4 or 5 mana. At 6 it kind of sucks, although at 4 it's amazing. At 5 I think is where you're going to see it most of the time, and that's pretty decent. The reason I do like Volcanic Drake is simply because it is a 6-drop dragon, along with the Crusher. This is why they might see play. It's a 6-drop dragon that works with your Blackwing Corruptor, which is the marquee card of the dragons, from what I can tell. The Blackwing cards between Technician and Corruptor are the reason the dragon deck will exist, if it does exist. So, yeah, these synergies are very, very, very good. And as a result, you're going to want these higher cost dragons. I mean, Hungry Dragon is good with Technician, but then you're going to need something still in your hand for this Corruptor, and that's why I think that Volcanic Drake, or maybe Crusher, depending on how the metagame works and depending on any changes or anything like that, will see some play regardless, because Corruptor is just that good. It still doesn't make Ren Blackhand good, though, in any way. I really don't like the Rendy Blackhand, unless you're just overloading on Big Game Hunter targets, I guess. So anyway, out of the 5 cards we have spoiled this week, I would say Corruptor, Constructed staple in my opinion, if the dragon deck is strong enough, and we've only seen 17 cards. There are 14 more, and one of those will probably be the marquee legendary of the set, which seems to exist in GVG and Naxxramas, and even base set. I would say that Ragnaros was the marquee legendary in base set, so every single set has a marquee legendary that sees a ton of play, so we're still waiting for that one. But besides that, we've got Blackwing Corruptor is a very, very good card. Dragon's Breath is a very, very bad card. It's funny how that works. Then we've got Nefarian, which I don't think will see play. Crusher, I'm not sure on, but I don't think it will see play. And Volcanic Drake, I think, is on the other side of the play margin from Crusher, where I think it will see some play, but not a fantastic amount. But anyway, that's pretty much it for the last spoiler show. So yeah, as I said, next week we've got set review, we've got some deck techs coming up, random arena run tomorrow, and I am bringing on Dapper for the set review. that's already been arranged. I'm bringing on Dapper for the set review. We'll do it in 2 videos. We're going to do the neutrals and the class cards, because there are 14 class cards this time. I mean, not 14, there's 18 class cards. And, what is it, like 31 card set? Yeah, so there's 13 neutrals, 18 class cards, which is actually a pretty heavy, lopsided thing. So actually, while we're doing this, might as well just count. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 neutrals spoiled, but we also have, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah, 7 class cards. So we're still short the majority of class cards. The majority of cards missing are class cards, because that's 18. So almost all of them, actually. I think we just got legendaries and class cards. That might be all the neutrals. Yeah, that might be all the neutrals. So we just got class cards and legendaries left. Okay, that's fair enough. But anyway, as for now, this is Jotto. If you like the content, wow, I managed to mess up my intro. If you like the content, please subscribe. If you have any feedback or just want to talk about the cards, put it in the comment section below. And also, like, if you just want to see some random stuff next week, just ask for it, because we are going to be doing some fairly random stuff, and we're just going to be doing basically a video a week. I mean, not a video a week, a video a day. So yeah, I've got videos pretty much lined up for the entire week, so if you want to see something in particular, put it in the comments, and I'll see if I can get around to doing it. But now, this is Jotto, signing off.